So welcome to your root and sacral chakra practice. First and second chakra. So you will need a block. We're not going to use it straight away, but bring it towards the top edge of the mat where the head is going to lie in a moment. So your root chakra is based at the base of the spine, and then your sacral chakra is based just below the navel. The root is related to feelings of groundedness and feeling at one with yourself, and the sacral chakra is linked to emotionals and any sexual reproductions. So we're going to come and flow into those. We'll do a little bit of all the poses sort of like link with each other, link with the different chakras, but I will let you know when we're focusing on what chakras. So we're starting off with the root chakra. We're going to lay down on our backs and just hug the knees in towards you. We'll be here for a few minutes. So this practice is just going to hold the poses for maybe 2 to 3 minutes. So hold the knees in whatever comfortable shape works for you, whether the knees are slightly wider or together, compressing the thighs into the belly. Now what you're trying to focus on is finding that length in the whole spine. So tuck the chin in slightly so the back of the neck is long. Shoulder blades are pulling heavy into the floor and the lower spine is pressing down into the mat. So we'll just stay with stillness for the moment. Feel the belly expand on the thighs. Feel the chest and the shoulders soften. Okay, then for the next few moments, you can either stay here if this is nice for you, or you can start to gently rock from side to side, massaging the lower spine into the floor. Massaging either side of the lower spine, starting to activate our root chakra. So if this chakra is out of balance, we can start to feel a little bit ungrounded, uneasy. So it's really good to take some time out to return back to you. What do you need to feel more grounded and stable in your life? And also in the body. Using the breath as an anchor throughout this little practice whenever you need. Let's begin to take a deeper breath in and a deeper breath out. Good. So now we're going to come into our happy baby. So grabbing hold of the feet. If that doesn't feel comfortable, hold on to the calves or even the back of the thighs just below the knees. So just holding it here, finding that stillness, finding that space. We'll be here for 2 more minutes, starting to open out through the inner thighs. And like you were with the knees together, we're trying to keep the lower spine pressing into the floor. So if you're reaching up to the hands and the chin is lifting, the shoulder blades are coming off and the lower spine is tilting up, just bring the hands a little lower down the legs so you can keep that base in contact with the mat. Again, we're staying with stillness just for a moment. And if you can, drawing the knees heavier towards your armpits. Just deepening the breath, finding that space around the hips. Good, lovely deep breaths in. Deep breaths out. For the last few moments, if you need, just starting to rock from side to side, again massaging the lower spine into the floor. Good, last few breaths here. Good, and then start to release the feet down to the floor. Releasing the hips. Send the feet a little wider and just let the knees knock in together for a moment. Take that pressure off the hips. And then reaching for your block. If you don't have a block, roll up a cushion or something. And just place the block underneath the lower spine. So there's a little bit this like triangle space around the sacrum. Just above the bum, or just at the top of the buttocks at the base of the spine. Now you can stay here with this gentle lift, or you can go up onto the next one. If you want, you can go onto the highest one, but we're not here for that full height. We're here just for that gentle elevation. Again, activating our root chakra again. So try to surrender the weight of the pelvis heavy into your prop. Feel that support underneath you. And allow yourself to be supported. And maybe just asking yourself, where could you do with some more support in your life? Do you strive to do everything on your own? Can you maybe take up someone's offer with some support in some aspect in your life? And it's okay to ask for support. Sometimes we need it. Sometimes it helps us work a little harder. Sometimes two minds are better than one. And sometimes having support under the body to relax helps you to release a little more. Good, taking your final few breaths here. Feel the connection between the soles of the feet and your mat. Good, take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, press into the feet and just lift that prop from underneath you and roll the spine and the hips back down into the floor. Send the feet wide, let the knees knock in and just hold it here. Let that space of the lower spine just release back down into the mat. Good, from here, let's roll over onto one side and using that to bring you all the way up to seated. So we're going to come into our dragonfly. So allowing the legs to open out into a V shape. Now, if you know that you've got tight hamstrings, come and sit on a rolled up blanket, or better yet, sit on a block if you need that extra height. Good, so you're going to just wriggle the legs, let it go. Bring the hands down in front of you, let the legs soften. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, start to walk the hands forwards, hinging the torso forwards. Soften into the shoulders. This is a passive stretch. So try to let the weight of the legs fall heavy into the ground. You'll be here for 3 minutes, so don't force yourself into the deepest stretch possible. Just allow yourself to go and breathe through edge by edge. Try to keep a subtle openness in the front of the chest. And trying to keep equal weight in both left and right sides of your pelvis. And allow your belly to soften. Let it go. Let the belly be free of tension. And then just asking yourself, what gives me stability and helps me to remain grounded? And usually the first thing that pops to your head will be the answer. Maybe for today, maybe something different tomorrow. What gives me stability and helps me to remain grounded? And this root chakra is all about abundance, abundance in our practice, abundance in life. Abundance in yin is the recognition that we already have enough. To cultivate the feeling of abundance in our life, we remember that we are enough as we are. We have enough material possessions, our relationships are enough, and our job may be enough. We have done enough, we are good enough, and we are beautiful enough. We know enough, and we are precisely where we are meant to be. So put down this internal pressure that you may play on yourself. Put down the need to improve what is already beautiful. As you are enough, just as you are. Good. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. Start to walk yourself all the way back up and come and find your way in to a downward facing dog. And we'll be in down dog for about 1 minute. So find your position. You can bring movement, you can pedal through the legs, but I want you to try and find this space and this length around the lower back area. Spreading the palms, spreading the fingers, finding this length along the arms and the spine. Can you slide the lower ribs in and down so you smooth out the lower back area? We're starting to transition into our sacral chakra, the second one. So bringing that awareness into that area that is just below the navel, where your reproductive organs sit. Good. Let's take a deep breath in through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Bring your right knee behind your wrist, your right wrist. You're coming into pigeon, so shin comes down at that diagonal. Slide the left leg out behind you. Take a deep breath in. Settle in here. Now, if you need, you can place a block or a cushion and place it underneath that right hip if you need the support, especially if the knee doesn't feel too happy here. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, start to lower down onto the forearms. Maybe the head comes down to the floor. Maybe it rests on the hands or onto a block. Good. So we're here for 2 minutes on each leg. So really trying to connect with your breath here. Try to keep equal weight in both left and right sides of the body. And this chakra clarifies our love and enjoyment of our body and asks us to let go of negative self-talk or self-judgment. Going back to the root chakra and abundance, you are enough just as you are in this moment, in this present moment, right here, right now. So now ask yourself, How would I like to feel today? We only want to feel positive and good about ourselves. So say something positive, say something high vibrational. I want to feel amazing today. I want to feel calm today. I want to feel on top of the world. I don't know, you suggest something in your mind, something that doesn't feel fake, something that maybe you're not feeling it right now, but something that you want to aspire to feeling like for the rest of the day or the rest of the week. And begin to notice if you're holding on to tension in and around the body. And can you let it go? What would it feel like for you to let go right here, right now? Good, let's take a deeper breath in and a slow breath out. Good, start to come back up onto the hands. We're going to meet back into a down dog and just pause in stillness for a moment. Find that length in the legs, that equal space in the hips. Bend the knees if you need. Press through the hands, find that length in the whole body. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Good, let's come to our pigeon on the other side. So left knee behind that left wrist. Shining or straightening that leg out behind you. Again, if you need to prop yourself up, you do so. Take an inhale to lengthen. And as you exhale, start to fold yourself forwards and down. Use props, use your hands, use your forearms, wherever you need. So again, coming back to this softness in the body, deepening the breath on the inhale. Deepening and slow the breath down on the exhale. And then ask yourself, do you tend to ignore your feelings? Around our moon cycle time, we can become maybe a little bit more emotional. But maybe if we were able to attend to our feelings and emotions throughout the rest of the month, it may not feel all so sudden around our moon cycle. So do you? Do you tend to ignore your feelings? Do you push them to one side, whether they're good or bad? Maybe you tend to push the bad ones, or they're more negative, or not negative, but sadness and all those sorts of things. Do you tend to push those to one side? Throughout the month, I invite you to feel your feelings. If you feel emotional, cry. If you want to scream, scream. Let it out the body. If we hold it in, or if we ignore it, ignoring is still a sense of holding it in. It starts to create that tension and tightness in the body. So we want to let it out. Screaming or laughing. Laughing? Screaming with laughter. Let's take a deeper breath in and a deep breath out. Good. Start to find your way back into your downward facing dog. Just take a few breaths here to release this left leg. Pedal through the legs, do what you need. Find that release in the backs of both thighs. And then we bring the knees down. We're going to take frog pose. Ooh, everyone's favorite. I'm joking. Or maybe it is your favorite. You might need to roll the mat over a couple of times, a little bit like a straw. If you have any cushions, you can just place those under the knees or a blanket. I want you to bring the knees onto your cushioning, opening the knees as wide as they comfortably can. And then if you can, align your heels in line with your knees. So knees, heels, toes pointing out to the side. That can be quite strong. Or you can have the toes pointing back. I can see there's a bit of a shadow from the sunshine, so I hope you can see my foot. Okay, then starting to come down onto the forearms. So you're keeping your hips and your pelvis in line with your knees, so in line with whatever your knees are resting on. It's not a child's pose, and we're not bringing the hips all the way forwards either. We're trying to keep them in line with the knees. So you might be able to go far, you might be stuck where you are. Depends on your anatomy of your hip joints. But wherever you are, can you soften? Maybe the legs stay where they are, maybe there's space for them to open out to the sides a bit more. But can you maybe bring the head down to the floor? Maybe the chest can start to come down to the mat. Sticking the bum up to the air. Deepening the inhale and deepening your exhale. Good, last few breaths here. Can you soften into it a little bit more? Let's take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Start to walk yourself all the way back in. Bring the heels a little closer together and then sit back towards the feet. Roll your mat out again if you rolled it up. And then let's come and find a child's pose. So you do the child's pose that works for you. If you've got a bolster, you can place the bolster in between the legs and lay on the bolster. Or you can bring the knees together or having the knees nice and wide. The arms can stay stretched out in front, or you can bring the hands by the feet, relaxing shoulders on your knees. And just allow yourself to settle here. So this may feel like a full resting pose for some people. This may feel quite challenging for others. Either way, breathe. Breathe into the back of the lungs. Breathe and expand into the back of the body. Good. Take a deeper breath in and a deep breath out. When you're ready, start to lift yourself up and come and find your way in to Shavasana. Grab any comfortable things, cushions, bolsters, blankets, And then allow yourself to lay down. Oops. Let the feet fall out to the sides if the legs are straight. Shuffle the shoulders underneath you. Supporting the chest, let the palms face upwards. When you find your position, take a full breath in. And let it go through the mouth. And just allowing the front of the body to drop into the back of the body. And then allowing the back of the body to drop in and take up space into the floor beneath you. And you can stay here for a little bit longer. Or then starting to bring you up to a comfortable seated position. Keeping the eyes closed if you are bringing yourself up to seated. Take an inhale, reach the arms up and over the head. Palms to touch, bring them back down in front of the chest. Namaste.